Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome again to the southern wing of the Stink Bug Works. Have a couple of things to talk about this morning. This morning I'm going to talk about my plans for today. But first, Big B expressed some frustration at damaging the little boats in transport and storage. Now, today I'm talking about two of my larger boats, the American Spirit, and even this thing at 18 inches or whatever it is one of my larger boats. And as you all know, I like to keep my boats in some sort of case, be it a briefcase, a gun case. The little twin cat is in a camera lens case of all things. But I learned a long time ago what Big B is learning right now. The little boats, because they're so small, oftentimes things are held in with one screw instead of two screws. And if they are held in with two screws, they're little screws and they attach to little things. And it's easy to knock them out of position or to break them or to mess them up or something like that. And I learned that lesson a long time ago. And I said, you know what? If I just put the thing in a box and leave it in that box, every time I take it out, I'm at the pond to put it in the water, run around, put it back in the box. So that's helped me keep from damaging myself. Hell, I got stuff out there that's 25 and 30 years old that's runnable. Might need new receivers, but might need new batteries. But I can run most of the stuff I have. Actually, I can run all of it, come to think of it. Anyway, I've been painting the American Dream, and I got a base coat and a color coat, or the base color coat on this, and it's starting to look pretty good. Yeah, there's a couple of little fish eyes here I thought I cleaned up. Of course, that's all going to be blue there. So today my plans are to knock down this surface sheen, and there's, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a speck of dust there, so I'll knock that stuff down. And this is my thinking about paint. Now, you pro painters may step in and set me straight, but here's what I think. Paint is basically plastic dissolved in a solvent, and when you spray it on, the solvent all evaporates away and just leaves the layer of plastic. But it takes a while for the solvent to fully gas out of this paint. Now, the majority of it, 90% of it, gases out within the first hour or so. But then the rest of it takes days and days and days and weeks, and it's soft and all that. And my thinking is, when you knock this surface shine off with some, let me make sure this is it. When you knock this surface shine off with some 1000 grit, you're actually opening up some of the pores in the paint. The surface being smooth and shiny probably seals some of those gases from escaping. So I like to knock it down, and it takes all those little dust particles off too, and then let it do its hard curing. I think it helps speed the process. So I just noticed a dent in here, and it looks like it was painted over. I wonder if that dent was in the paint or in the handling. Either way, it's going to be painted blue and can easily be sanded out. So there I am. This thing, I finally got some motor wires. I had to extend the motor wires, so I wanted large gauge wires. I don't like having to extend wires, especially in electrics, with any amount of power. It's just that much more resistance, that much more weight, that much more complexity. It's not good. But I have shoehorned this large motor in here. I put this boat up because of a couple of reasons. One, I felt I needed to move the weight forward. I had a smaller motor here, and I was actually thinking about trying to get the speed control up in here to move weight forward. And I stopped for a minute and said, wait a minute. What would Big B do? Why, put in a bigger motor to begin with. Duh. So that's the fix for this thing. I put in a bigger motor. I'm going to run it on 3S. I've tightened up the rudder. All I really need to do is mount the receiver. It's already got some Velcro on it, and I'll just put some Velcro on the side here. So I'll have this thing done and ready to go today as well. So there you go. Lots of projects in the works. New stuff coming up. Here's one of the drawbacks about running boats at the pond. It would be really cool to take a whole fleet of boats and run them and run them and run them and run them. The only drawback is when you go home, you have an entire fleet to maintain. So I like to limit it to 2 or 3 boats at the most, that way when I go home, you got batteries to discharge and get to storage, and by then you're beat, the day's done, and you're sitting around going, oh, I got to grease this damn shaft. Oh, I got to pull the strut off to get this shaft out. After a day of boating, I only want to do that a few times. So anyway, boys and girls, there you go. Up and coming projects, and the unicorn, the Campbell's hydroplane, the Doug Campbell hydroplane is on its way. I'm going to make a deal on that. I'm going to trade it for something. I'm going to maybe make it as a challenge prize. I'm going to do something with it that involves giving it to somebody else and having them build it. I already have one. So let's find a good way we can put that hull to use, because it's a great handling hull, and I think I will get mine going sometime soon. It has everything it needs. It just needs hooking up and dialing in. Well, it doesn't even need dialing in, come to think of it. It just needs hooking up. There you go, boys and girls. Until next time, jet out.